Good day, everyone. I am Lanping, and I'm a master student of De La Salle University. My program is Master of Arts in English Language Teaching. And today I will present one of my papers. It is a meta-analysis, and it studies the effects of technology-enhanced learning approach on EFL learners' listening skill. So let's start. Firstly, I will have a short introduction of this study. So this is a meta-analysis. It aims at studying the effects of technology-enhanced learning approach on English learners' listening comprehension. It also studies the effects of different treatment types, say call or more, and different treatment lengths. It includes 20 previous studies. So we all know that listening is one of the 4 major language skills, and if we want to be fluent in language, we need to develop strong listening skills because it will help us to understand the listener, and it will also help us to express our mind. Listening, according to some scholars, it is a process of receiving and constructing meaning from and responding to spoken or non-verbal messages. During this procedure, people use ears to capture individual sounds and we use the brain to convert them into meaningful information. So listening comprehension is taken as a highly complex problem-solving activity. Some factors may affect the listening comprehensions. For example, the listener. If the listener's comprehension, grammar knowledge, or knowledge of how sounds merge or reduced, or his vocabulary size, or his concentration, all these will have influence on the listening comprehension. And secondly, the speaker, if the speaker's pronunciation, his accent, or his dialect, or his grammar is familiar or easy for the listener, so it will be comprehended more deeply. And next is the content. So if the content is familiar, it is related with the above mentioned listener's background. If it is familiar, it is easier to understand or to comprehend. And the visual supports will have some influence. It's besides that if the listener sees the speaker's body language, it will be easier for him to understand the speaker. And visual support such like pictures, diagrams, visual expression of body language, or video will all benefit the listening comprehension. So technology help change up our life, and of course it will change the education landscape. And the teaching of language have changed from the traditional chalk and talk method to a more collaborative student-centered learning method. And this is one of the reasons why I did this meta-analysis, to see the impact of technology-enhanced learning or teaching method. And peers stated that technology development will increase the scope of available content and will demand us to reshape the traditional learning or teaching models. Traditional approaches are intended to be reconstructed to innovative model that would make us use of online activities and other free educational resources. So in accordance with this development, new classroom mode or class mode are applied, such as the flipped classroom, it is inverted and it is also reverted and backwards. It's like the students will do the important study or pre-study uh, before class or after class. So on the class, the students will inquiry and they will do the application and they will do the assessment. So it's like the logic order are flipped here in this class mode. And according to Hardy and Kim, a new technology supplement will benefit learning in the developing of content materials, and it will provide a variety of formative immediate feedback, and it will help the student to react after feedback and do self-correcting activity, and some multimedia supplements will benefit them also. So let's talk about the statistical factors or sectors of this meta-analysis. Firstly, it's about the variables of this meta-analysis. The independent variable is technology-enhanced learning approach, and the motivator variables are treatment type, core, or more. Here, core refers computer-assisted language learning, while more indicates mobile-assisted language learning. And motivator variables also include treatment length. The independent variable or effective size derived from the included 20 previous studies. So the research questions for this meta-analysis are as follows. The first is, what is the overall effective size of technology-enhanced learning approach in the improvement of English listening skill? And the second one is the different types of technology-enhanced approach impacts English listening skill learning differently. And the last one is, does the length of treatment have influence on the effects? So to answer these three research questions, some research methods are applied. So firstly is the identify a primary study. To identify the primary study, search in electronic database and computer search are applied. The keywords are here as follows, and sensory tracing are also applied. It means track the reference in the previous research. And after the research are searched, here are inclusion and exclusion criteria for this analysis. And firstly, we will talk about the inclusion criteria. There are 6 of them. First one is that the independent variable should be technology-enhanced learning, of course, and the primary study should focus on the English listening skills, and study should have experimental or quasi-experimental and have experimental and control groups pre or post test, so that statistical comparing or computing could be applied. And the effects of technology-enhanced learning or teaching approach could be disentangled from the effects of other factors. And number 5 is, it should be utilized statistical analysis, so that it is for the computer effect size. And the last one it should be published in English. And here are the exclusion criteria. There are four. The first one is it does not have enough data reported for the computation of effect size. And the next is the research design makes it impossible to disentangle the effect of technology-enhanced learning and teaching approach from other factors in the treatment. And the third is it is not about English language learning. So because some research are done for like Korean English, Korean language learning, or Japanese language learning, they will not be included here in this meta-analysis. And the fourth one was published before the year of 2000. It's too long ago, so it will be excluded. Here are the coding of the selected included studies. First is the treatment instrument. They are coded as call or more. And next is timing of post-test. They are coded as immediate post-test or short-term delayed or long-term delayed. And a measure of proficiency. They are coded as impressionistic judgment, instrumental studies, in-house assessment, and standard test. The length of treatment are coded as short-term, medium-term, and long-term, and learner's age are coded in the same way as Lee. And for different studies, it has different age coding rules, and here are it. And applying all the coding rules, here are the coding results. It includes the treatment instrument, the age, the EFL or ESL, which is the research setting, and the length of treatment, the timing of post-test, and the measure of proficiency. After the coding data analyzed could be applied already, and here is the computed effect size of the selected 20 research study. And after the individual effect size are computed, weighted effect size could be computed, and weighted effect size here is 0.14, and a z-test indicates that this effect size is statistically significant. A moderator analysis is also applied. To do the moderator analysis, a post-hoc pairwise Q-test was conducted, and it indicates that both call or more, which is the treatment type moderator, and the treatment length of the treatment length moderator has significant impact on the variation of the group of effect size. So both of the moderator have impact on the effect size. So after the data analysis, here we have the results already, with the weighted effect size being significant. Generally, we can speaking that the technology enhanced learning approach with the help of computer or mobile device or other multimedia materials works better than traditional ways of learning English listening skills. And the moderator analyzed on the effect difference between call and more, as well as that between the short, medium, and long-term treatment indicates that call works better than more. and the longer the treatment, the better the effect could be. And moreover, from the Q test, the different Q test results indicate that the length of the treatment has much more significant influence on the effect size than the treatment type. So from this meta-analysis, we can have some pedagogical implication. Technology enhanced learning does benefit the learning of listening skill of ESL language learners, of course. The digital technologies like computer program, multimedia, mobile device are ideally placed to help teachers working with learners working independently to do the necessary languaging, which make learners' language development possible. And core benefits learners' listening skill better than all. A computer could provide the learners with various learning materials. And the learners with this help could be more creative and original with the help of multi options of learning methods and variety types of exercise. So for teachers and learners, firstly, it is better to apply available learning aids during the learning process. So suitable application of learning aids would help the learner acquire listening skills better. The types of learning aids or learning device should also be carefully selected, since it would influence the outcomes, and if there is an option, choose core, but not more in case both methods are suitable. The application of new learning approach should last for a period of time so that it will benefit well. We cannot expecting approach work significantly in a very short time. So these meta-analyses have limitations, of course. It is based on 20 previous studies, and because the limitation of data included, this study only reflects about findings in limited range and motivators, of course. So for further research, it could be study on motivators such as learners' age, gender, mother tongue, or research settings to enrich the findings, since all these motivators could help influence on the final learning outcomes of the learners. So generally, this is about the meta-analysis, and here are the references included here in this meta-analysis. And thanks for watching, and have a nice day.